Hello, my name's Shaun Hoddy. Welcome to another edition of Community Lockdown Aikido Martial Arts. So as a club now, Essex Aikido Dojo Shoshinkan, we are holding lessons outside on a Tuesday evening, 7 to 8 o'clock, and on a Saturday morning, and that is 10 to 11 o'clock. These are free for anyone in the local community. So if you wish, come and join and practice with us. So we're going to start, and we're going to start today with Unsoku. So Unsoku is foot movements, and we do these slowly because we've got some new members watching. So we would start in left posture, we move forward, ich, and we go back, ni, sun, shi, right, go, rock, sich, hutch. Then from here we move to the left side, so we go ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Come forward. And then we move to the corners. So from here we're moving to the front corner. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. And then from Unsoku we move into Tandoku, which is hand and foot movements. And with these movements we coordinate our hands and feet together. So I'll show the first movement front plane, and then I'll show it side plane. So from here we'll be going ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, and we repeat ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So that movement this way, we coordinate everything together. So we go ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Second movement, this is where we come down and then round. So from here, first movement, ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. From the side. So from here, turning, ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Third movement, 1, 2. So from here, ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So from this angle, ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Fourth movement, so these are reverse. So from here it's ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Repeat, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So from this angle we're moving forward. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sun, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. If you look, everything's centre as we move, keeping this centre line. Always got the technique in front of you. Okay, the last one, this is an opposite again, so it's ich, ni, Sun, Shi, Go, Rock, Sich, Hutch, Ni, Sun, Shi, Go, Rock, Sich, Hutch. So initially the first movements, Ich coming up, Ni, Sun, Shi to neutral, and we're going out to the corner, Go, Rock, Sich, Hutch. Okay, then we've been going over some weapons, so sword, it's the Bokken, when we hold a Bokken, right hand near the guard, left hand at the end of the skull, so just a little bit of flesh showing, chew down position, nice and centre, so Kisaki, which is the tip, points that chew down level towards our opponent. So when we use the sword, we come onto the mat with it relaxed. So this is passive. It becomes active, come forward, and we're there. When we finish, and we're here. So as I've got no ceiling height, I'm going to use this piece of dowling. So from here, first movement, Aiuchi Men. So Aiuchi Men, cut. Go back. So from here, Aiuchi Men, we're cutting together, cut. So I cut towards their head. They're cutting towards mine because I'm going a little bit faster. I'm slightly off line, knocking their sword away. I win. They there, then just drop below this, come out, both in the same position, and then we come out. So next technique in this kata, it's called Hadari Men. So with Hadari Men, they're cutting straight cut to my head. I come off line and I cut. From there, so I've cut to their temple. From there, they turn and face me. Then we move back to centre. So show that again. So from here, cutting. They move back to centre. Back to centre of the dojo. And then back. Next one, Migi Men. So Migi Men, we're coming off line left side. So they're doing the same type of cut. So it's a straight cut, straight men cut to the head. So I come forward and I come off line. So I'm watching what they're doing. They come out. As they come out, reach that point, I change my posture and we move. So once again, coming forward and I'm cutting. Change my posture and I move. So next technique is a ski. So a ski is a thrust. And basically they're going to cut. And what I'm doing, I'm coming forward, driving forward towards their throat. I move in. And from there, just come back. So I'll go back as far as possible, so I'm not quite so close. So from here, as we move forward, they're going to do a cut. I thrust to here. Now, if you follow the Shotokan teachings, it's done slightly different. They turn the blade over. Same principle. Neither way is wrong. Just a slightly different approach. So next technique in the sequence is called Do. So Do is an attack to the body. What our opponent's doing is quite a long type of cut. And what we're doing as they cut, we're going to take the arterial system out under their arm. So it's there, we come through. So the cut must initiate from above the head. We're not doing this, we're coming up, cut to here, Kasaki cuts under the armpit, and then from there we're going forward. Turn, face. So very important that we cut correctly. So I say we're not doing this, we often see it done like this. It comes from above the head and it's there, it's a cut to here and then we move. Return. Next technique we do is Koti Nuki Koti. So that is a wrist cut. So what our opponent is doing, they're coming off line and then cutting to the wrist. So they have to come off line to get to that wrist and they're in right posture as they cut. As I cut to my wrist, I come up to here and cut their wrist. So I'm not trying to bat it out of the way, I'm just turning my hips and cutting. So from here, turning my hips. You have to bear with me because I'm not the ceiling height to take the sword right the way up, but then we cut. So from here, turning my hips, cutting. Next technique is Kaishi Men. So with Kaishi Men, I'm stepping and cutting. So what I'm doing, they're doing a straight cut. I'm stepping in, flat of the blade. Very important. We're not trying to do this or this with the blade. It's just the flat of the blade. That deflects their sword away. Remember, elbows in. Don't take the elbow out. It's going to hurt. And there's like a pivot point on the sword. So if you look, it's a pivot point. So I say hold the sword like we're holding eggs. So it's nice and relaxed. So we're here. It's quite loose with this backhand. But then when I get there, it finishes solid. So you think this is quite relaxed, yeah, the hand near the guard, but then as I cut, it becomes strong. So from here, as I cut, I step, whoop, change my feet from there. So once again, as I cut, I come off line, one, cut. It's all one action. So as my foot lands, the cut is finished. Change my feet because they've moved out, and back to there. Back to centre. Now from here we've gone back to centre, so now I push. This is the next technique. Hasso Waki Gamai. So from here I push, 1, 2, 3. Sword comes back, tilting back slightly so my arms are not exposed. They're going to cut to this thigh, so as they cut, I block. They're scooping under to stab me in the chest, so if we aim for this badge roughly. And there, I'm controlling them. So they come under again to go the other side. I control here. And then they're going to cut this temple. So I step and I block and I turn my wrists so they're strong. Because if you block like this, it's going to not work. It's just going to go on. So strong. And from here, cut to finish them off. So from here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3. So from here I'm coming back, Nice and relaxed. Cut into that thigh, and it's a straight cut down. 1. They're coming under the 2. Obviously I'll be moving further because the thrust is deeper, but I'm lacking room here. I'm going to move, and from here, move, then cut. Okay. Then we went through some Jo katas. So as we know, the Jo is a 4-foot staff. In Tomiki Aikido, we use this as a Jo, which is a striking weapon with both ends, or we use it as a spear, a yari. In our katas, some of our katas we use it as a yari. So we just go through the movements again. So this comes up, thrust, so ski, and coming up, changing, striking, stepping back, blocking, turning, keeping low, come over, thrust. Now at this point we're coming up, change, drop behind, come up, thrust, turn over, 1, 2, step back, come round, thrust, turn over, 1, strike, strike. Now we step up, swing this round, and finish. So once more. So from here we're coming up, thrust, then I'm moving over this side, and I strike to there. From here, coming back, so it's a thrust back, and from here I turn, this is inside a thigh, turn over, thrust again. This time it's a similar movement, but what I do, as I come up, I turn and I drop. Then from here I'm coming up and I thrust. Let's come back a little bit. So I thrust, turn over, 1, 2, back, turn, thrust, turn over, 1, and from here, 2, strike again, then I step up, swing him round, then I come up. So that is a 21 count Jo kata. Now we can do the 10 count Jo kata. So from here I'm coming back, I thrust. I'm coming back, I strike. Coming over, I strike, let's come back so I don't hit any lights. Then from here, strike again, come back, blocking. Now a hip turn, strike under the chin, cut, block. From here, sweep and turn. So once again, so from here I'm coming up, thrust, coming up, strike. Then from here I step forward and I strike again, so I hit my lights. And then from here I come up and I strike straight on top of the head. From here now, block, drop, crack under the chin, cut, block, so there's an overhead block. From here, swing and finish. So that's a 10 count Jo kata.